97.3 ESPN.com, 97.3 ESPN FM. It is our YouTube channel, and it is time. I know you've been missing this. It is time for another edition of PG's Hot Take of the Week. We were on hiatus. I was on hiatus for the past few weeks. I did go on a nice honeymoon with my beautiful bride, my beautiful new wife. We had a blast, but we are back in business and ready for another edition of Pete G's Hot Take of the Week. And this week, it's all about BBN. Big Blue Nation, University of Kentucky, Coach Cal, another Final Four appearance for the Wildcats, back-to-back years, and got some stats for you on Coach Cal. Last 10 seasons, 3 Elite Eights, 5 Final Fours, 2 runner-ups, and 1 national championship, and perhaps 1 undefeated 40-0 season, and another national championship for Coach John Calipari. And really on PG's Hot Take of the Week, this edition, we're going to focus on some of the thoughts out there on Coach Cal and where people stand on Coach John Calipari and how he goes about his business recruiting in the NCAA. Is he destroying the NCAA? Could be, but those are the rules in place. It's a level playing field for all the coaches out there, all the D1 coaches out there. You all have a level playing field, and Coach Cal is at the top right now because he knows how to recruit. He knows how to somewhat, you could say, beat the system. But he has no problem going into someone's living room, being brutally honest with a 17-year-old kid and his parents, saying, hey, you come to UK, if you come to Lexington, I can mold you into an NBA player. And that's what happens. And it's a level playing field out there. And I'll tell you another thing, Coach K from Duke, he has bought himself a copy of John Calipari's Handbook of Success. That is the one and doners, the Kyrie Irvings, the Jabari Parkers, the Jahlil Okafors, the John Walls, the Karl Anthony Towns. Those guys are all one and doners, and that's how you win nowadays in the NCAA. In my opinion, it's no longer about the experienced 3-year, 4-year polished starter that you see a lot of times at the Ohio States and some of these other squads out there. In the end, it's all about the best players out there in the country playing for you, and those guys are usually 18, 19-year-old freshmen. So more on Coach Cal before we wrap things up here on PG's Hot Take of the Week. In my opinion, if Coach Cal jumps ship to the NBA, if he finishes this deal, if he closes it out, and he goes 40-0 and wins another national title, he can now jump ship to the NBA, and he would immediately become a top 3 to top 5 coach in the NBA, and he would immediately also become a rock star. He could take over this league, in my opinion, if Coach Cal decides to jump ship. You can give me Greg Popovich, you can give me Doc Rivers, Tom Thibodeau, okay, that's all well and good. But Coach Cal coaching the Wizards and John Wall and Bradley Beal, Coach Cal coaching Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook in OKC, or Anthony Davis in New Orleans for the Pelicans, to me, that's the route to go if I'm Coach Cal. And we'll see what happens after this Final Four and after this national championship game, because again, if Kentucky does go down and Notre Dame, hell of a fight, wasn't good enough, but if Kentucky does go down, what was it all for? 38-0. If that turns into 38-1, what was it all for? Make sure to watch that Final Four on Saturday night, because offensively, Wisconsin can keep up with Kentucky, but defensively, I just don't see it. So we'll see what happens, and we will be back next week for another edition of Pete G's Hot Take of the Week. It's 97.3 ESPN.com.